Yeah, one of the biggest double standards that I started to observe just from my own experience is boundaries between men and women, and how if I approach a woman, either a woman I know or don't know, and I say something to her that she doesn't like, it doesn't even have to be sexual. If I say something to her that she doesn't like and she tells me to stop, and if I keep going, I know that I can open myself up to trouble, right? If this is a work situation, I can get fired. Somebody can call the cops on me. Restraining orders get put in place. Somebody's big brother or homeboy or whatever can get called, and now all of a sudden I got to worry about physical violence to myself, right? But on the flip side, I realized from my own experience and from talking to other guys that you can tell a woman no or to stop, and she thinks that's a sign to keep going. So just in my own personal experience, it's been a number of times of interacting with women, and then the conversation starts going somewhere that I know that I don't want my mind to go into, right? I can feel myself getting heated on the inside, and I stop and think, and it's like, why am I getting upset? And it's not going to go anywhere positive, right? So I want to end the conversation. And so what I've experienced is like, okay, you tell somebody no, or like, listen, I don't want to talk about this no more. They keep going as if you didn't say that, right? Or if they do stop, then they start calling you names. Oh, you just, you're afraid of conflict. You're afraid to be challenged and all this other bullshit, right? It can never just be understood like, you know what? This man said, I don't want to talk about this no more. So I'm just going to drop it and just going about well, now the conflict isn't resolved. We're not getting deep enough. And it's like, okay, fine. That's your opinion. You feel like the conflict isn't getting resolved. You feel like we're going deep. You feel like I'm shutting you down, whatever. That's your opinion. But you're still disregarding what I clearly stated, which is that I don't want to continue, right? Now put that on the flip side. If a man is interacting with a woman and she's very clear that I don't want this to continue, and he keeps going, then all of a sudden he's a harasser, he's a predator, he's all of these things, right? And so that's one double standard that I think needs to stop. And so if you're a man and if you're dealing with this shit, you tell a woman, hey, listen, I don't want to keep going. If she keeps going, just understand at that point you're being bullied. You are being bullied, right? We usually think of a bully as someone who has a physical dominance over someone, and they're trying to force their will on the person who they're more physically dominant than. But that's not the limitations of a bully. If you're being clear about your intentions and what you want to have to, and what you want to stop, and it doesn't stop, that person is disregarding your will. That person is bullying you, even though they might be physically smaller than you and they don't pose a physical threat to you. They still don't respect your mind, and so therefore, now we get into the territory of mental abuse. Now think about this, right? Think about this from a man's perspective. Let's say, and I've had this happen. We're at a bar and we're talking about sports, we're talking about politics, whatever the case is, and the conversation starts to get heated. And it's like, you know what, dude? Let's just agree to disagree. And after you say that, if that dude keeps talking, both he and I know that the likelihood of violence following that is very high, right? So cooler heads are going to prevail, right? Or the shit's going to spill into something else. We already know that. So as a result, it's like, you know what? All right, bro, I respect what you're saying. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Women don't have that. At least in my experience, like, hey, I don't want to keep talking. Well, I'm not done. I didn't get my point across, all this stuff. So, bro, if you're dealing with that shit, understand you're being bullied and understand that's not the person you want to continue to be affiliated with. So once that becomes a pattern, that is your cue that you need to stop interacting with that person. Yeah.